Roll out!
Hello and welcome to That's Just Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Generations 2015 Combiner Wars Voyager size Optimus Prime, and I love this toy. Released in December of 2014, this guy is brand new and is starting to hit stores right now as of the time of this recording, and it's retailing for approximately $25 depending on where you get him. Here in truck mode, Optimus is approximately 6.5 inches long and about 3 inches tall. I absolutely love this new Optimus Prime. This guy is obviously the new Combiner Wars Prime that's for the new Combiner Wars line that's coming out in 2015. And so Voyager size Prime here, and he's going to be able to combine with some of those guys. And I am really, really loving what they've done with this new Prime here. I feel like what the old Generations Prime did here, like what this guy did for the G1 Optimus Prime, I feel that this guy does that for G1 Power Master Optimus Prime and a little bit of Machine Wars Optimus Prime. I really get a huge G1 vibe from this guy. And just the way he looks, the way he transforms, there's a lot of Power Master and Machine Wars Prime that you can see in this guy. The way that his arms fold out, the windshields here on the truck actually fold out and around and face the back of the robot, just like the Machine Wars guys did. And the smokestacks are actually going to be inside of his shoulders instead of the outside, like the Power Master Prime did, the way that his arms open up to reveal a fake chest, a fake blue window chest inside, that is very Power Master Optimus Prime as well, and the fact that he combines just like Power Master Prime did. So, yeah, I feel I get a huge G1 vibe from this guy, and I feel like what that the first Generations figure did for the first G1 Optimus Prime, this guy does that for that Power Master and for that G1 Prime. Really, really loving this truck. He's a good sized truck here. Just for comparison, you saw already the first Generations Prime. And, this guy is available right now, the Generations one. There's a newer repaint of this that's available in the 2-pack with the new Transformers 4 Evasion Mode Prime. So, you kind of get a look at what the older Voyager size. And the newer Voyager is just a little big. He's just a little bit longer. He is quite a bit wider. Almost as tall. The old Generation one beat him out just a little bit with the wind vane here. And just for the heck of it, because it reminds me so much of them both, here he is with the original Power Master Prime. And just for comparison, he's quite a bit bigger than that one. And then here is the Machine Wars Prime, and again, quite a bit bigger than the Machine Wars Prime in every aspect. So the Machine Wars Prime was a little smaller than the Power Master was. So yeah, there he is. He rolls really nice. Black wheels. That's always going to be a critique with me. I want my Primes to have silver wheels, so I am probably going to go in and paint that. And speaking of paint, you can see he's got a pretty nice paint job, but he does have some unfinished paint, which seems to be the norm with Hasbro nowadays. You get into these corners and these hard-to-paint areas, and they just kind of leave it unpainted. So right here on the corners of the truck, where it should be red with the silvery blue windows, they just left that unpainted. So if I can get some matching paint, red that'll match this red down here, I'm probably going to try and go in and paint it myself, and paint in the windows and chrome out that mirror. So hopefully I can find some paint to match that. So yeah, there's the truck mode. Love it. Rolls real nice. It's a big, beefy, good-sized truck. He's got it's a little bigger than what we're used to with the current Voyager line. So yeah, I'm really liking it. I like the step up on the size here. He does come with some weapons. He comes with these two rifles right here. Now this guy is pretty cool because this guy really kind of looks like the old G1 weapon that the weapon that the G1 Prime had. It kind of looks like that cannon that he used to carry around. So I really like that. And then he's got this other rifle here that doesn't really look like anything, but they're meant to combine for the combined mode so that he can have a bigger rifle in combined mode. I don't know. It looks a little long and skinny, and he may look better with just holding two of these. I don't know. You can plug him in to the back of the truck here. which, as you all know, I'm not a big fan of because I don't like having weapons just hanging out in the back here. Now, it looks like they did try to go for something here. If you can see there, it kind of looks like he's got the two weapons side by side, almost kind of look like an engine block that's sitting back there, but they didn't quite pull it off. And I think if they would have made it to where, it's been mentioned before too, but if they would have made it to where, say, these barrels would fold under the rest of the body and then have these guys clipped together to actually form what looks like an engine block and then have that mount in the back, that would probably look a lot better, and I probably wouldn't mind it as much having it back there. But as it is, that's what you get. I'm not a big fan, so I just leave them off to the side. So there he is. There's the truck mode. So transformation for this guy, pretty cool. He's not as simple as some of the other new figures that are coming out. He's got quite a bit of steps on him, but not terribly complicated. You're going to want to start on the sides here, the sides of the truck. These panels are going to, you can get your fingernail right in here, and you can pop these guys off and just rotate these down. Do the same thing on this side. Just rotate that down, and that's going to allow you to unpeg the hands right here. These are the forearms. Now these are pegged right here. There's a little pegging clip so that the legs are clipped into the front of the truck, so you can just unclip them right there. You can see that little clip right there, and that's going to allow you to bring the arms all the way down. I'm probably going to have to back the camera up here in a minute. Now these windows are going to split right down the middle here. And this is where I really get a Machine Wars vibe, because this is exactly what the Machine Wars Prime did. The front windows would split in the middle, they would rotate off to the side, and they would end up facing the back of the robot. So these guys are going to plug in the mirrors. You can see that there's a slot right there on that back window. So the mirror is just going to peg in right there on both sides. And then you're going to come down here to the arms, and you're going to want to rotate where you see the grill on the front of the truck there. You're going to want to rotate that so that it faces the front of the robot on both sides there. There and there. The back of the truck, I'm going to definitely want to at least bring the camera up a little bit because it's going to get a little taller. So, back of the truck here, the legs were pegged in together on the sides here. You can see that obviously they just came unpegged, so you can unpeg them now or later. It's up to you. But let me peg them just so that it looks like it should. So just straighten them out at the knees right here, and then you're going to want to pull the hips down. You're going to see that the midsection here is going to come down, rotate, and fill in. And he can be tight. He's brand new figure, so he's tight. So it's actually one click, two click. There you go. Clicks down twice. And unlock the elbows there. The elbows were locked in. Separate the legs. Bring the feet up. Stand them straight up. And I don't know why the arm keeps flapping back on me like that. And then finally, for the head reveal, the top of the truck here is where you see the Autobot symbol. This is gonna just press in on either side, and the whole thing is gonna rotate around. And I have this kind of worries me a little bit, because when I go to transform him back into robot mode, let's see if it does it for me now. See, now it's not doing it. Earlier, I guess it was right there. See, it's kind of hitting the top of the head is hitting the side of the truck there, and I'm afraid that it's either going to rub paint off or onto one or the other. It looks like if you tilt the head down just a little bit, you'll be okay. It does seem to give it a little more clearance, but it does still rub just a little bit, and that kind of worries me. And then I kind of have a problem with this. This came like this out of the box. You can see right there on his chin. There's a little scrape. I should be able to get in there with a silver Sharpie and fix that. But anyway, there you go. There is Combiner Wars Optimus Prime in robot mode, and I absolutely love the way that this robot looks. Here in robot mode, Optimus is approximately 7.5 inches tall. As far as articulation goes, his head is on a rotation, or is it on a ball joint? He's on a ball joint, but and I almost missed it because he's got very limited up and down on that head, but he does have a good rotation. You can take him all the way around. Now that I'm looking at him from the back, yeah, he does have a ball joint, but it's very, very limited. The shoulders can go in and out. You got let's see, you do have a full rotation on the shoulder. You've got a rotation at the bicep. You've got a double jointed elbow because of the combination that he's going to do later. So you're actually able to give him a good bend at the elbow there. No rotation at the wrist, and that's unfortunate, but that's a necessity because the wrist has to move out of the way to expose the combiner ports later for combine mode. As you probably saw already, there is a rotation on the waist. Universal joints at the hips, which are very tight. Let me move the arms out of the way. The hips are really tight. You can see those clicking really nice and loud, so you can go in and out. You can go forward and backwards. You got a nice bend at the knee, a little more than 90 right there. And due to transformation, you got a little bit of tilt on the foot there. So yeah, I am really digging the way that this Optimus Prime looks. And again, he really does remind me a lot of the OG one, both the Power Master and the Machine Wars Optimus Primes. And just to show those off real quick, here he is with the original Power Master Prime, and you can see what I'm talking about there with the way the windows, the way the arms roll out, or fold out rather, to show off these fake blue windows on the inside. It's exactly the same thing this guy did. The way the smokestacks sit on the inside of the shoulders, just like this guy is doing. And then you can see a little bit of a size comparison. He's about as tall as the original Power Master Prime was. Let me bring in the Machine Wars Prime. He's going to be quite a bit smaller, obviously, but yeah, you can see this is what I was talking about with, if you look at him around the back, you can see how the front windows just kind of rotate out and they point toward the back of the robot mode there. So that really just kind of screams Machine Wars to me. So I really like that. And just to show him off with a newer or current Voyager, here he is again with the Classics Prime. This time, this is in fact the version that came with the 2-pack with the Evasion Mode Prime from the 4th movie. The other one that I showed off earlier was the first Classics one. But there you go, quite a bit bigger than the Voyagers that we were having before. So yeah, he's a nice big sized figure, and I'm really digging it. So getting into the weapons, I have a little bit of an issue here. This may just be mine, but right out of the box, it seemed to have a little bit of a loose knee right here. I'm going to have to go in and either tighten it up. I may tighten up that screw or open it up and look inside and see what's going on. But I seem to have this knee was just loose right out of the box. And it's making it a little difficult for me to stand him up. So, yeah, there he is. One more look at him. I really, really dig this mold. Check out the head sculpt on this guy. I am really digging that head sculpt. I'm digging everything about this figure. Now, if I had to pick one thing to critique on this, it's going to be the wheels on the arms here. You know, it's unfortunate, looking at the way he transforms and everything like that, it seems like there wasn't really a whole lot of choice of anywhere else to put these wheels. And I can kind of understand that if you've got nowhere else to put them. I'm not a big fan of Optimus having wheels on his forearms. We've had quite a few figures that do that. I'm not a big fan, but I understand when they have to do it. Now, if you have to put the wheels on the forearms, I wish they would do it in such a way that you would have the wheels like this facing the back and have this be the front of the forearm. You know, have the fist facing this way, have the articulation turn this way. That way, you know, you still have the wheel on the forearm, but it's not quite as noticeable as it is like this. But what are you going to do? If I'm going to pick one thing to nitpick, that's going to be it. Other than that, I'm in love with this figure, guys. I really, really digging this figure. Check out his weapons once again. There's is it an ion cannon? I think it was called an ion cannon for the original figure. So we'll give him that weapon right here. And these guys can be a little tight. So there you go. There's his ion cannon, and then there's this other. I'm going to call this the Rinky Dinky cannon on his other arm. So there you go. There's Optimus Prime, all armed up and ready to go. So going into the combined mode, I guess I'm going to go ahead and show this off now. I don't have any of the other combined figures, so this is really just going to be the torso itself. He does remind me a lot of the Energon Optimus Prime, so we'll take a look at him next to that. So to go into combined mode, you're going to want to go ahead and put the head back away. So put that guy away, and you're going to want to rotate the arms back around the way they were in truck mode. There's a peg right here on the forearm, then this is going to peg in right here at the top of the shoulder. And this is where that double joint on the elbow is going to come in handy. You want to just line that guy up right there, and a bit of a mushroom peg, and you can just peg that in right there. Same thing on this side. Trying to see it through the camera is not easy. Okay, there you go. So that guy is now pegged in. You're going to take the fists, rotate these back, and that is going to expose the combiner ports right there. Come down to the waist, turn it around. You're going to take your feet, or your legs rather, your lower legs, point them out, and then you're going to want to angle these out a couple of clicks, and then bring the knees down. So what you're going to want to do here, if you look at the inside of the thigh here, what was the inside of the thigh is now the front. There's a peg right there, and if you look at this panel down here, there's a slot right there. So you're going to want to bring these up and line it up in such a way where you can peg those in, and once they're in, it holds really nicely. It's pretty secure the way that holds, and yep, there it goes right there. So there you go, and that, again, that's going to expose the combiner ports on the bottom of the feet down here. Take this blue section. Am I going to have to back up again? I may need to back up again. So take this blue piece right here, fold this down. This is on a double hinge. There's a hinge up here and a hinge down here. Go ahead and fold this all the way up, and that is going to create kind of like a faux chest grill, his abdomen grill, and then give him a waist piece as well. Take this. I like this. I like that they did this. It kind of looks like windows also. And then these guys are going to open right up. It's kind of very Energon Optimus Prime combination mode right there. And then take the whole head, this whole base that it's sitting on, this whole thing is going to rotate up, just like so. And then his head is on a ball joint that actually you can bring it up or to the front just a little bit, straighten out his antenna. And there you go. There is Combiner Wars Optimus Prime in his combined mode. And that just screams Energon Optimus Prime to me. And I'll bring this guy in right here so you can see the comparison, and I am definitely going to need to bring that camera up. So yeah, so there you go. There's Energon Optimus Prime. This is my custom. This is the year of the, was it year of the horse? Or it was a year of the something version that came out in the Optimus, in the G1 colors. And then the drones are my own custom. I showed this off earlier. If you remember my Energon Optimus Prime review, I showed these off. But yeah, so if you look, there's a lot of similarities with these two. The way the chest opens up, the way the windows open up to kind of reveal the chest. Same thing that this new one is doing. You've kind of got this like open Energon, not Energon, like this open matrix thing going on that a lot of people criticized back then. But you can see that this new guy is kind of doing the same thing. He's got these details here. It almost looks like he's got, you know, the open chest with like a matrix-ish looking thing coming out. Possibly could have used a little more detail here, you know, to kind of really make out what this is. The bigger head with the big antenna that are posable, you know, this just like this guy did. He had the antenna that were posable. So yeah, this guy really kind of looks like this Energon Optimus Prime when he's in combined mode. And again, you know, the weapons they combine just like so, and that's just going to be one big long rifle that he can't hold right now because he doesn't have any limbs, but you know, he's going to be, that kind of gives you the idea of what that's going to look like. We'll move him out of the way and just focus on this guy again. So yeah, so there you go. There's the combined mode for Optimus Prime. So there it is, guys. There's one last look at Optimus Prime, all ready to go into battle and blow off your face. And I am really digging this figure. I am really, really digging the new stuff that's coming out for the new year, and I am really looking forward to what Transformers has to offer in 2015. I'm really liking what I'm seeing for the animated show, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing for the Combiner Wars. I'm super, super excited. So I think that is going to cover Transformers Generations 2015 Combiner Wars Voyager size Optimus Prime. Wow, that's a long name. That's a mouthful. Please leave me a comment, give me some thumbs up, subscribe, and share with your friends if you like what you see. And I'll talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.